My name is CEO. Prior to that, I spent 20 years in product engineering across different industries, mostly e-commerce and software. What's different this time at Helium 10 is that post-exit, I decided to stay with the company. And the reason I stayed with the company, the engagement, the energy that I'm getting and feeling from the customers of Helium 10 and customers of services like Howard is incredible. Like, this is a very fulfilling experience. It's hard to match that anywhere else. Our goal is to enable e-commerce sellers to succeed in the same way that traditional analytics tools enable big businesses and 1P brands to succeed. So think about companies like that of the world that cost millions of dollars in order to generate insights that you can turn around in action and understand what the product opportunity looks like and use them to manage your business. We did that at sort of fraction of the cost. So we provide 90% of the service that big brands can afford to pay at sort of tiny fraction of the cost. So democratizing access to information, democratizing e-commerce opportunity. Howard Thai is really a cool guy. Like, that's I can tell you that. Professor of Amazon. So Howard and I met in 2018, and he's been part of this ecosystem much longer than the last 4 years. He's been doing this for longer than I have been doing, sort of supporting Amazon and supporting Amazon sellers. So he's a big part of this community. The content that he puts out there, the sort of opportunities that he opens up are incredible. So he's a big part of the ecosystem, and I have huge respect for Howard and the work that he does through his education, through his platform. The engagements that he has with the community are sort of unmatched. Like, there are very few people like that in the industry, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to meet him and call him my friend. Change is the kind of one constant in this industry. It's not zero-sum game, but it's highly competitive game. The opportunity is there. It needs to be taken advantage of, and a lot of people will be sort of chasing the Holy Grail. Over the last few years, I saw a lot of changes on the demand gen side. How do you generate demand for your new product? How do you do that has changed over time. All these things are in constant flux, and sort of being able to sort of recognize where they are today and what are the strategies, what are the tactics that will make you successful when you're trying to generate awareness around new products or sort of rejuvenate your existing product. That's a shift. Like, that's something that needs to be monitored, and being places like this or talking to folks like Howard Thai, that definitely helps that. Find sort of trusted partners in the industry that will help them understand what's changing, how changes are impacting their business. There's sort of various sources of information, and sort of recognizing what's reputable source and what is not is sometimes a challenge. Talking about Howard, like, he's a kind of recognized and reputable voice in the industry. So listening to Howard has never been a bad thing to do. Building a company it's tough. And even when you look at big companies, successful companies, the way the companies are structured sort of changes over time. And different companies operating in the same space will have slightly different structure. But there are sort of different functions that sustainable growing business needs to have, from like product design to engineering to marketing to sourcing, operations. So there are various functions that any business has to have. And when you start a business, when you launch a business, might be one person show, might be two people kind of working together. Like, that coverage is relatively broad. So you have two people doing everything. As the company grows, you have more specialization, and then you get to the point where you need either to bring people in-house or lean on external partners to do certain things. And it's sort of P&L game. Like, sometimes you will do that internally, advertising agencies. Sometimes you'll hire advertising experts who will manage advertising for you and marketing. Sometimes you will use an agency, and sometimes you'll have sort of a mix of both. You will run certain things and monitor certain products through an agency. You will manage certain things internally in-house. So combination of internal powerhouse and external resources, like, that's inevitable with every business. Like, you need to find a balance, and that balance is always shifting. So understanding what's out there, what opportunities exist in terms of sort of workforce augmentation. Right? Where can I get help? And then taking advantage of those opportunities, that's critical for business to grow and succeed.